So Elder Scrolls Online. This was something we were talking about a couple months ago, I think, about them introducing their first non-binary companion. And I brought up the fact of, well, people are saying, oh, well, non-binaries always existed in the game. And I bring up, well, how come you haven't had a non-binary companion up until now? Why is it only now, when it's the cool thing to do, that they finally introduce a non-binary character to, as a companion? So, Elder Scroll Online narrative director responds to non-binary companion Backlash. This is the gamer. You're gonna. He follows you. Dut, 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 dut. He follows you everywhere. He watches everything you do. He's Santa. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. The Elder Scrolls Online Update 44 introduced the game's first non-binary companion with Tanloran. Unfortunately, a vocal group within the community voiced backlash and even hurled transphobic abuse at their inclusion. But for ZeniMax, it was a no-brainer to make Tanloran non-binary, and narrative director Bill Slavicsek, whatever, I really don't care, points out that ESO is already full of queer characters who are accepted without judgment. I'd be more pissed off that, this non-binary character has colored hair. Because this is how they see you. They see you as a stereotype. Not all binary people have colored hair. And again, why are they making such a big deal about being, the first non-binary companion? If they're saying, the game's already had queer representation, then why make such a big deal about it? Why make such a big deal about it? Why come out and say, we're glad to have our first non-binary companion? Why not just introduce the damn character and be done with it? Why do you need to go out of your way to make sure everyone knows that they're non-binary? I had to pause real fast because someone wanted to see me. Come on, Sam. What? Yeah. What did you get into? Let me see your face, dude. Come here. See your face. There we go. Come on. You're a very good boy. Come on. There we go. You're a very good boy. What? Yeah. Go on. Um, but yeah, if queer characters have always existed, why do they go out of their way to make such a big deal about having a new one? Just introduce the character. It's a huge step forward for representation in the game, but a vocal subsect of the community has voiced outrage and spouted transphobic abuse. If you're actually abuse, that's uncalled for. Criticism, that's something different. I seriously doubt most of these people are actually being transphobic. I think it's more criticism, and people are just tired of them inserting this crap into games for the sake of inclusivity. Again, this wasn't happening until like a few years ago. You could say, they've always had gay characters, but they didn't come out and make a big deal about it. Now, did they? They didn't come out, oh my god, we are introducing our first gay character. No, now it's always got, Elder Scrolls introduces its first non-binary Who cares? Just release the damn character and be done with it. Just stop with the the titles and the freaking identification of them, and just release the damn freaking character. Justifying their anger by saying that Tanloran's inclusion is immersion breaking and that they supposedly don't fit in the world of Elder Scrolls. So that narrative, the director says they're wrong. They're wrong. We have mixed marriages and gay and lesbian characters in abundance throughout the game. Yes, but you don't go out of, we didn't go out of our way in the past to make sure people knew for a fact that these characters were gay or lesbian or whatever. You don't have, people weren't writing articles about, oh my God, I can't believe, no. They were just there. They were there. It just makes sense to us that all possibilities exist in Tamriel. We treat it as if it's a real, well, it's not a real living world. It's a video game. You just might not notice because you don't shout. Exactly. These things, you don't notice because they're not shouting it from the rooftops. But when you have a character being introduced and they're only being introduced because they're non-binary and only getting attention because they're non-binary, it's a little different, isn't it? And again, it's like the colored hair. I'd be more pissed off that the people in this community are seen as stereotypes. It's like I said with Tomb Raider, the Tomb Raider series on Netflix, how they made Zip into a freaking flamboyant gay man. That's how Hollywood sees you. If you are a gay man, they see you as flamboyant, because when have you ever seen a masculine gay character? No, they're always, honey, you go get it. They're always flamboyant. They're always over the top. I've never seen a straight masculine gay man in any kind of media. And for them, this is how they see you. They see you as a stereotype, even though they're part of that community most times. It's like, oh, because everyone needs purple freaking hair and everyone's this way. No character in this world blinks an eye or thinks there anything unusual about meeting the baker and his husband, the serving woman and her wife. Again, there was a time where people would just have characters and it was not a big deal. But now everyone needs to know, these companies need to go out of their way and talk about inclusivity, representation, diversity, and say, oh, we're purposely designing these characters for a broader audience, for a modern audience, and the world is vast and different, and we're all individuals, and we really want to make. I've said before, we've had 40 plus years of gaming before all this crap started happening. We just need to go back to what it was before that, which is making good games. If you have gay characters, whatever. You don't go out and just try to put them on a pedestal and say, oh, well, you need to like this game now because we have inclusive characters. And if you say anything about it, you're a phobus and ism. But that's exactly what they do. As soon as you start voicing your opinion, you're phobus and ism. It stresses that designing new character like Tanlerin is a team effort, and so is worked closely with VO lead Rebecca, not even gonna bother, to make sure we match actors to the characters they play. They play very meticulously, and so getting a non-binary actor to play the role of Tanlerin is extremely important. Having that representation is likewise vital behind the scenes, so as the authenticity bringing the characters to life, such as Tanlerin, with care and intimacy. ZeniMax ensured it incorporated queer voices to do just that. We have a diverse group. Oh my god, I'm so sick of that word. I'm so sick of that word. A diverse group of people working throughout the team, including the writer of the content who identifies as non-bi. Of course they do. Of course they do. Of course they do. ESO has always been a diverse game from the in-game pride. Pride parades held by the community to the rich, queer cast and talent who have been brought at so much character to its world. So despite all the fury that might be spilling out online, it was a no-brainer to take the next step further with the LGBTQ plus companion. It just felt right to make Tanlerin non-binary. They're not going to care. They're not going to care. Well, when people stop buying your product and you go broke, gamers are getting tired of it. Believe that, Jack. Now, someone's butthurt by the existence of in the real. And that's the thing. This is the real world. In game, it's a game world. Stop taking real life things that only existed for a few years. Because if you look throughout history, the whole non-binary thing just suddenly hit a few years ago. And then suddenly everyone's come out saying, oh, I've always been non-binary. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Why, you fucking lying? Okay, it hasn't. It's been maybe 10 years at most. In the whole course of human history, it just suddenly surged a few years ago. I wonder why that is. You wonder why you see a rise in non-binary and trans, because the media and everything have made it cool to be like that. Because you get certain perks and privileges. So everyone and their mother's like, well, time to jump on that train. The issue isn't that they're non-binary. The issue is that the character is first and foremost a gender identity, then a character. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You can't just introduce a character, expect us to care about them just because they're non-binary. You need to give us a reason to care about the character. A normal person is not going to give a flying fuck about a character just because how they identify. Okay? We don't freaking care. Because again, normal people can look at games and play games and movies and this and that and feel some kind of connection to characters, even if they're not human. Okay, so like, if you need to focus so much on how they identify, that just shows you don't know how to write a character. And that maybe you're in the wrong line of business. Because you can't just say, here's a character, they're black, they're this, they're that, and if you don't like them, then you're a phobus and ism. I need a reason to care about them, unlike some flaming lefty online. I don't care about gender identity, pronouns, and who everyone fucks, or skin color. I want to know what they're about. I want to know what drives them. I want to know their personality. I don't give a rat's ass about anything else. I don't care about their skin color. So if you're trying to sell us on, oh, they're the first black non-binary, I don't fucking care. I don't care. Normal people do not care. Only those idiots on Tumblr and people chronically on Twitter care about that crap. Normal players, normal gamers don't care. We just want to play a game. Just give us good characters. Right? This character was literally marketed as the first non-binary character, and then people get mad when it's pointed out. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Non-binary is a modern identity created from identity politics. Yeah. I think the biggest issue with this non-binary character is first and foremost the fact that that's all the character really is. The dev says that they're subtle about inclusion and representation or whatever, but this character was literally marketed to be the first non-binary character, the first non-binary character ever. So please clap. Before we knew anything about her personality or story. Exactly. This is what I've been saying. But no, I'm the crazy one. People who talk about this and call it out, we're the crazy ones. We don't give a crap. But when you go out and market this kind of thing and make a big deal about their freaking gender identity and how they identify, their pronouns and skin color, people are going to lash out at you because that's what you're making the character. That's all you're making them is a freaking gender identity or skin color. Do you work in an actual circus? It's not the inclusion, like said here. There's always been. It's the fact that it's jammed in there, not for immersion, but for political ideology. Give them an inch, they take a mile every time. Is this important to non-binary people? Being non-binary just means you tell others that you identify as non-binary. There's nothing more to it. Oh, God. I'm currently dating someone who's non-binary. There's a lot to it. It's too much to read. I'm really sorry that happened to you, or I'm really happy for you. But, yeah. No one gives a crap about these characters, and including characters just for representation and all that other crap. It's just stupid. Okay? You can't introduce a character like this and give us nothing at first apart from they're the first non-binary companion and expect us to care about them. You can't expect hype to be formed around this character unless we know anything about them. The only people who are going to be hyped around this character without knowing anything about them are the terminally online freaking idiots who are on Tumblr and Twitter who 30, 40, 50 years old and they oh my god, representation. Those are the only ones who care. They're the only ones who care. Give us a good character, give us a good story. If the character is gay, trans, whatever, but do not make that the entirety of their character. Simple as that. But no, we're the crazy ones here. We're outright saying we don't care if these characters are there, but do not make their gender identity, their skin color, their entire character. Like shows or movies where you have trans characters and they have to remind you that they're trans or gay every few seconds. Don't do that crap. But hey, what do we know? We're just the crazy ones. Anyway, that's gonna do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.